Welcome to Roger That, a podcast presented by HVAF of Indiana. I'm your host, Lauren Carpenter, and join me as we discuss how HVAF is ending veteran homelessness and how you can join us in our mission. We'll be having conversations with community partners, staff members, and even some of the veterans we serve. We hope sharing more of our story with supporters like you can shine a light and give a voice to this vulnerable population, because no hero should ever be homeless. Before we start today's episode, here are some important things that you need to know about. Stand Down, a resource fair for veterans, is September 7th from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Indiana National Guard Armory. At Stand Down, free resources are available to veterans, including food, clothing and hygiene items, employment services, financial counseling, VA benefits assistance, and more. Stand Down is on September 7th from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Indiana National Guard Armory, which is located at 3912 West Minnesota Street in Indianapolis. For more information, please visit our website at hvafofindiana.org/events. And mark your calendars for the 10th annual Operation Alpha. Join us Friday, November 10th at the Biltwell Event Center for the biggest, bestest Veterans Day party around and support vulnerable veterans and their families in our community. Operation Alpha is a casual evening with Hotel Tango Spirits, Upland and Sun King beer, wine from the wine group, custom cigars, great food, a military-inspired grog bowl ceremony, and the ever-so-popular whiskey pull. Dress is casual and free parking is available on site. And we look forward to seeing you there. Tickets and sponsorship opportunities are available now. Check out more information on our events page at hvafofindiana.org/events. And I'll be sure to include a link to the event in our show notes. And we are so excited to be a part of the charity challenge at this year's Breeders' Crown, which is known as the Super Bowl of harness racing. The Breeders' Crown is Friday, October 27th and Saturday, October 28th at Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino. As part of the charity challenge, we have the opportunity to win up to $100,000 for our veterans, but we need your help. We need everyone to like our photo on Facebook. The most likes wins, and I will include a link to the photo in our show notes, but the link is also in a post pinned to the top of our Facebook page at HVAF of Indiana. Today, I am excited for you all to meet Army veteran Whitney Hamilton. After decades of battling addiction, Whitney found recovery through HVAF's programs, and he is now celebrating 9 years clean and sober. I first met Whitney 4 years ago when we nominated him to receive a Habitat for Humanity home. And that's actually one of my favorite stories of our veterans that I've done, so I'll be sure to include the link to the story in our show notes. And today, Whitney is proud to sit on the HVAF Board of Directors. He has been through so much and has such an inspiring story to share, and I knew I had to get him on the podcast. So let's get into it. Here's my conversation with Whitney. All right, today on Roger That, I am joined by Whitney. Whitney, thank you for joining Roger That today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. You're quite welcome.
Yeah, have you been on a podcast before?
No, it's my first time.
Okay, that's what I hear a lot. So yeah, it's exciting.
Right.
So yeah, I'm still new to the podcast world too. It's exciting. And yeah, so we'll just go ahead and get started.
All
so,
right.
Whitney, you are a veteran. You've received help from HVAF and now you are giving back as a board member. So, you just have a really cool story and we want to be able to share that with our listeners. So let's, take it back to the beginning, when you first enlisted in the military. How old were you and why did you want to enlist?
I was 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
I had just turned 17th on the 4th of November, and I went in on the 28th of November. I wanted to go to Vietnam, but they already were bringing the troops back, so I didn't get to go to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. But I did get to go to South Korea for 13 months. And I served over there.
Yeah. Did you always want to serve, growing up?
I don't know. I don't think I thought about it, but I knew I was on a route of getting in trouble. And I had a couple of friends that had joined and they changed their life around and by being in the service. So I said, well, I'm going to try that myself so I won't, get in a life of crime or something,
Yeah. What branch of the military did you serve in?
I was in the Army.
Army. Okay. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Welcome.
How is there anything else you want to share? Maybe how long you served, where you went, what you did? I know you said a little bit about that.
South Korea, I did 3 years. I did have a stop in Japan, Osan, Japan, and just a brief moment in Alaska.
Wow, okay. Cool. Yeah. Is there maybe like a favorite memory from the military you want to share?
I liked South Korea.
Yeah.
I'm a clothing person.
Okay.
And so it was amazing how talented that the South Koreans were, where if you just show them a picture of some clothing, they'd have it made for you pretty much the next evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to tweak my stuff. And so I came back with a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you still have any of the clothes today?
No,
Okay.
they all went out of style. So when the bell bottoms and the stack shoes.
Hey, those are kind of
stuff.
back in style
Yeah,
now.
they are now, but I don't have any of this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, they got lost in the transition.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. How long did you serve?
3 years.
3 years.
Uh-huh.
And what was that transition then like coming from military life to back to the civilian world?
Well, back then, you really didn't mention about being in the military or anything because everybody was talking about Vietnam veterans were baby killers and stuff. And
Okay.
so, you really wouldn't. It didn't make you proud, even though I didn't have to go to Vietnam, but I'm still a Vietnam veteran, So I kind of kept it on the down low, because they were doing crazy stuff back then. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that I served my country, though. So, and it served well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then what was life like for you once you were out?
I pretty much, got a job and just started doing. I went to school because I was able to. The government, paid for my school, so I picked up a trade, automotive technology, and which is still helping me today. But yeah, I was able to do that, and it helped me considerably through the years, in the good times and the bad. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I know. You did. You've shared it with us before because we featured you on our blog and everything. That you have gone through some addiction and things like that over the decades. Would you be able to share a little bit about that? Sure. I guess the first time I ever got a substance was when I was 3 years old. Mm-hmm. My grandfather was a full-blown alcoholic, and he used to have car parties, and I got into their liquor. And the first time I got drunk, I was 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so on down through the years, I just, he would always give me a beer, or you want a little sip of this? And I saw him doing it. I thought it was okay,
right.
Then when I started going to high school, I was introduced to marijuana, still drinking, speed. I tried it, a lot of stuff. Back when I was in the military, everything was there. Mm-hmm. Especially when you was overseas. Drugs were very prevalent. But then some years later, I got introduced to cocaine, and I really, really liked that, and I got addicted to it, and I spiraled all the way down to homelessness.
How long were you homeless?
I bet you I was homeless for at least 10 or 15, maybe 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Was
it like couch surfing, out in the streets, with all of it?
I would, out in the streets, I would go to the missions, stay. I didn't like sleeping outside. I heard people say they slept in abandoned houses. That's just something I just didn't want to do when there was a bed available somewhere, Now, some nights I missed that, and I would just walk around, on the streets and stuff.
Yeah.
I left here for a minute and went to Fort Worth, Texas to live, calling myself getting away, but I was taking me with me. Mm-hmm. And so it was no problem to find all of that, the same thing. So it just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was out there for about 29 years,
okay.
And I don't know. I just woke up one morning and something clicked. Mm-hmm. And I knew I didn't have to live like this, no more. So that's when I sought help at HVAC.
Yeah. When did you come to HVAF?
That was 2014.
Okay.
In August 2014.
How did you hear about us?
I had prior been in a program called the Freedom Center that was out west for Home Street. I guess I just wasn't ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
I went out there. I kept messing up and left there. But I knew it was available. And so most of the times when you call someplace and say that can you get in, they'll tell you we might have a bed in 30 days or something. But for some strange reason this time they said, well, you come right now. So I think that was on a Friday. I came that Monday.
Wow.
And I was just ready. I was ready to change my life around, so.
Yeah. That's something that I've heard here, and I've spoken with veterans that you have to want the help too.
Yeah.
We have all the resources for you, but
Right.
you have to want it.
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah. How long were you? And I know you were in we used to have a program called Rest.
Yeah.
And how long were you in that program?
I was in there for 8 months.
Okay.
But they told me I was ready. I was ready to stay. I think it was a 2-year program, if I'm not mistaken. I was ready to do the whole 2 years, but they said, you're ready.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you really? Okay. So, I stayed at 8. I worked the program. And here I am today.
Yeah.
9 years later.
Yes,
Clean and sober.
Yeah. Congratulations.
No mind-altering substances whatsoever.
That's amazing.
Also sponsoring other men. Matter of fact, there's another guy that graduated from here. He was behind me that I sponsor, and he just celebrated 8 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How does that feel to be able to now help others who are in that position?
Oh, it's a great a great feeling to see something that you did and you give it back. That's how I stay clean, so because I give back.
Yeah.
I help somebody else. I got 2 or 3 sponsees, and the sponsee I'm talking about now, he's building his house through Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
coming
amazing.
up right now. He's only going to be 2 blocks from me. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything I did, it seemed like he followed me.
Right.
So,
yeah.
and I never questioned.
Great
it,
example. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Also, so with HVAF, we, helped you through the recovery program. Are there any other services that we've helped you with?
It helped me get some of my appliances and stuff when I moved in my house. Clothing, they filled my refrigerator up when I moved. I mean, all that was available.
Yeah.
I didn't have any credit back then, and one of the counselors here knew a guy that was renting a place, and talked to him and helped me get in that place.
Nice.
Which I so appreciative of it. I never missed a payment. Nothing. Matter of fact, I still talk to the guy today, believe it or not.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because he said, you're the best tenant I ever had. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, with all of that, HVAC, I don't know what I did without him, so.
Yeah. And, when I walked into the lobby and you were talking with Missy Lane, who works at our front desk, is a peer mentor now, but back before she was a cook in Rest.
Yeah.
So I know you guys have you have a good relationship.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Her, Miss Katie. Yeah. All of them. I know everybody just about in here. So,
right. Yeah. How did Missy Lane help you in the Rest program?
Besides nourishment.
Yeah. Right.
She always had the encouraging word, and, helped us through some struggles, because it ain't always, peaches and cream, when you're in a program with a bunch of other men, I mean, there's always going to be some disagreements.
Right.
But she would help us kind of straighten it out, and she'd always tell you what was right. You know what I mean? And so here you go. Here it is. Now it's up to you to do what you want to do with it. So yeah, I appreciate it. And plus, she had that mother love. You know, like she probably would deal with her for her own kids. We were her kids up in here. You know, so
Yeah.
I appreciate it and love her to death. So.
Yeah. And was Fred here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fred.
So how did Fred help you?
He helped me through the steps, 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. Firm, you know, which I needed.
Yeah.
You know, also he became a good friend. You know, so he helped me tremendously. You know, I can't remember the other guy that was here, but yeah, I'm glad that he got a Habitat house also.
Yeah, he also did. Yeah, that's amazing.
So I stay in contact with him. Yeah, so
no, that's really cool that even though now it's 9 years ago, you still have those relationships with us today.
Right.
You know, we don't forget about our veterans, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
He don't live too far from me either. He just lived a couple of blocks
That's
over
what I was
either,
thinking.
you know?
I think he's in that same area because I did a story on him too. That's when I first met you. That was now 4 years ago. Then, you know, I remember helping build your house, and then
thank you for that.
of course, of course. And then, you know, I was able to have a story on our blog. You know, and I'll link it in our show notes that, you know, you were able to, you know, move into your house, and, you know, I remember you got the keys, and you cut the ribbon and all of that. And it was just so exciting. Yeah. What was that whole process like of getting your house and everything?
Well, I was still here at HVAC at the time when I started running with Back on My Feet. And then I was asked that would I be interested in building a house? And my mind said, man, you're too old to do that, or I ain't going to be able to do that, or whatever. That was the first time they asked me, and so nobody never said anything else, so I didn't pursue it. And a year lapsed, and it came again and asked me, so you still interested in the house? And I'm like, God, you trying to get me a house? I said, what the heck? I said, let's just go for it. You know, I had got grandkids and stuff like that, so I went for it and got approved. Wow. It's been 4 years now since that happened, you know. And, you know, through Habitat for Humanity, you know, you have to put in some equity and some work hours and different things they got you to go through. But that helped me tremendously because it taught me how to budget money, pay off credit card debt, you know, stuff like that. And, in fact, I just paid a credit card off.
Nice.
Another one. So
that's the best feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
yeah, it's been a great journey. Great journey.
Yeah. What was that feeling like once you got your keys and you got to go through that front door, welcome your friends in, your family in?
Yeah. Wow. It's unexplainable. From coming from homelessness to a brand new home built from the ground. Man, I was just too done. You know what I mean? Tears in my eye. I didn't cry, but I was crying. Y'all couldn't see me, but I was. So, but yeah, it was a great accomplishment. You know what I mean? Because I'm a person from way back then. I would seem like I'd never finished anything. You know, I'd start something and I wouldn't finish it. So this was completed, you know, and I'm still there. So, you know.
Yeah. And do you say your grandkids live with you, or do they just come visit?
Oh, they come visit.
Yeah. So I bet that's fun to have them over.
Oh, yeah. They call me Pawpaw Snacks because I always got plenty of snacks for them. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's the joy of being a grandparent. You can just be able to provide them that stuff, spoil them.
Yeah, when I get tired, I call their parents. Say, okay, Tam, come get them.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, but I'm an aunt, and I kind of got that same thing where I'm like, hey, you can go back to your mom now. Yeah, and I think you were, whenever we first talked, back in 2019, that you were just maybe had recently repaired relationships with your family.
Yeah.
Then. So,
yeah. So, and then you don't even know about this.
Yeah.
So I found out that I had a daughter.
Okay.
She found me through Ancestry.
Okay.
She was 44 years old. And so I along with her, I got 2 more grandkids. and a great grandson.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, so do you still keep in touch with all of them?
Yeah, he's 6 months old now.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad you were able to connect with them too.
But
that's
I
amazing.
look at how God does things, and he didn't bring her into my life until I got it together. Because if somebody came looking for me talking about they my child, I probably, I don't think so, but yeah, so we did the paternity DNA and everything just to make sure. There's always something in your head say, are we sure?
Right.
And it came back 99.9%. So
wow,
that was enough for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So,
what is now life like for you now? Are you working or?
Well, my son and I, mostly him, we have a transport business. He transports cars got a truck and a trailer.
Okay.
He does all of that. I just helped him get it.
Yeah.
I got one contract a month that I do the first Saturday every month. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
I don't like to do a whole lot of driving like that. But I still work on cars on the side. That keeps me busy.
Yeah.
I still do my meetings. I still sponsor guys. Plenty of activity.
Yeah. Yeah, and just recently you've joined HVAF's board of directors.
Yeah, wow.
Which is really cool. Yeah, how does that feel now to be part of that?
Wow, that kind of blew my mind when they asked me about that. I'm like, what an accomplishment that was. You know what I mean? To be asked to be on the board of directors of the place that helped me.
Right.
I was really humbled and honored for that. And it's great, to attend that, what I mean? So it's like they have a person that's been out there to be able to give back,
right.
from experience.
Yeah, you have that perspective of knowing, those veterans that we're serving, what they need, what they're thinking. That's really cool. Yeah, so to be able to add to that.
So that's great. Right.
What would you say, if there's a veteran listening who's, going through their own struggles right now, maybe, whether that's with substance abuse or something else, what would you say to encourage them?
Well, first thing, don't never give up, man. You know what I mean? I went through a whole lot of treatment centers, I tried everything, but you just got to be ready, when you make up your mind. But don't never give up, man. Suicide is not an answer. You know what I mean? Because I've had times where the enemy would talk in my ear and tell me I should take my life. And I said, well, what if tomorrow God delivers me? So I don't think I'll do that. There's help. I went on to VA, told them I'm about to hurt myself, and they, put me up so I can get my head back together. But, don't never give up. But I would say, you know what I mean, and have faith in God, because I know my faith was what got me through. There's help out here. You just have to, sometimes things just don't come to you. You have to do something yourself. You got to put some action in, but recovery is possible.
Yeah.
I'm living witness to that, and there's a lot of other people that are too, because I never thought that I would be, and so that's why I advocate for people that need help now. So, it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Definitely.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah.
If you can't fail if you never give up.
Right.
So.
Exactly. Yeah. My grandpas had served, and I've had other family members that served, but not a super close connection. And so when I came to work here, I just feel like I've learned a lot about just the military world and veterans, and just how every veteran is different with their own unique experiences and everything, depending on when they served and what they did and everything. And it's I have a lot of empathy now for veterans. I mean, I did before, but even more now. So what's something maybe you'd want to say to our listeners who maybe aren't so familiar with veterans? What's something you'd like for them to know about veterans?
Well, all of them, most of them that I meet are pretty cool people, if they just, some of them have a problem, and everybody has problems, you know what I mean? But some of it derived from their military service. Some of them seen things that were, messed them up,
Right.
So, don't judge them. If you can help them if you can, and pray for them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs help. You know what I mean? We went through some things in the service. Even if you wasn't in combat or anything, you still went through some stuff, that you hadn't experienced before. So everybody handles things differently. So if you see a veteran that help, call HVAC for
Right,
them.
exactly.
Something, or let them know that HVAC, is available. To give out some help. So
definitely. Well, is there anything else you want to share? With your story, anything you want our listeners to know?
Well, I'm just glad that I'm here today. I always thank God for opportunity to give back. My sponsor told me every time someone asks you to give back, don't say no. And so I don't do that. I always want to give back. Just hold on if you're going through anything. You know what I'm saying? Just hold on, man, and reach out. It's help available. You know what I mean? But sometimes you have to reach out. I know they even got people that's in the field to reach out to you, but if you can't get to that person, you got to reach out for help. You know what I mean? Life is good on this side. You know what I mean? And that other side it's not in my DNA anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then I can give back what was freely given to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hold on.
Yes. All right, that wraps up this episode of Roger That. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to Roger That on wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us on social media at HVAF of Indiana. And for even more stories on HVAF and the veterans that we serve, check out our blog on our website at hvaf.org. Thank you, and until no hero is homeless, we'll see you next time on Roger That, a podcast presented by HVAF of Indiana.